If AT&T went away tomorrow, people would notice, right? A lot of commerce would literally stop. A lot of human interaction would stop. That's a big deal. And we think it's important that our people grasp that what we're involved in, what we do, what we facilitate is really a grand contribution to society.
To succeed today, companies must be able to anticipate customer and technology trends, move quickly in an ever-changing landscape, and differentiate themselves in industries with aggressive competition. No industry has seen as seismic a shift as telecom, and no company has made as bold a pivot as AT&T. It's always been a company built for the future. The company that invented the telephone has now moved into a world of connected devices and sensors, of cloud computing and big data. And just last year, with the purchase of Mexican wireless properties and DirecTV, AT&T has positioned itself as North America's #1 wireless company and the largest pay TV provider on the planet. With this level of investment and an unprecedented collection of assets and people, AT&T has staked its claim as the premier integrated communications company in the world. I'm Emmett Miller. We traveled the country to discover AT&T's inspiring mission and to explore the transformative strategy that's propelling this iconic company into the future. We started in Dallas, where AT&T's headquarters rises from the city's downtown, to speak with the company's chairman and CEO, Randall Stephenson. Stephenson took the helm of AT&T in 2007 at a tumultuous time in the telecommunications industry. Just taking over the company, you're walking into the first board meeting, everyone looks at you and you say, folks, I got news for you. AT&T is a wireless company, first and foremost, and every head turns in surprise.
Right.
What was that moment like?
It was traumatic. Our board was a little bit taken aback and wanted to have the conversation, but I had a great board and we got there. I had one owner call me and say, you be careful. But having a board and an executive team prepared to make that kind of commitment, invest that kind of capital immediately was significant.
In the ensuing 8 years, Stephenson has overseen an explosive growth in the wireless business that's brought AT&T to the doorstep of yet another transformative moment in the company's strategic vision. You delivered a refreshed, if you will, mission statement, 2015. What led you to the notion that this is it, connectivity is going to be the bedrock of what AT&T does?
You know, it's interesting because that mission statement, to connect people to their world everywhere they live, work, and play, and do it better than anybody else. There was a derivative of that was our mission statement literally almost the day I took over as CEO. And so this mission statement has stood the test of time. And why has it stood the test of time? Because I believe when you put out a mission statement, it says, what is your higher calling? As a company, what is it you do? It goes beyond making a buck. What is it that you do that when you engage in it as an employee is bigger than just being an employee? What are you doing? And connecting people to their world, connecting businesses to businesses. That's a big deal. That's a big thing. Our U.S. commerce, the U.S. economy is fundamentally tied to what we do. If AT&T went away tomorrow, people would notice, right? A lot of commerce would literally stop. A lot of human interaction would stop. That's a big deal. And we think it's important that our people grasp that what we're involved in, what we do, what we facilitate is really a grand contribution to society.
Connectivity is core because it is the fundamental element of quality of experience.
We came to New York to speak with Mark Winther, who leads the global telecom consulting practice at IDC, a global provider of market intelligence for the telecommunications and consumer technology markets.
The world doesn't work without connectivity. I mean, digital transformation is in all the headlines. Every industry is chasing some strategy around digital transformation. Well, it doesn't work without reliable, good quality connectivity. So I think AT&T's focus on that, fiber, 5G, spectrum, I think that's really important.
Here in this room last fall, Stevenson and his leadership team turned that mission to connect people to their world, everywhere they live, work, and play, into a bold new strategy statement to invest to become the premier integrated communications company in the world, delivering advanced mobile services, next-generation TV, high-speed internet, and smart solutions for people and businesses across the globe. The premier integrated communications company in the world. Focusing on the word integrated, it's a small word with big implications.
Right.
What do you see those implications as being?
It was not an easy decision to get here. And in fact, if you look at the rest of our industry in the U.S., we're alone in pursuing this strategy. And we did a lot of work on this. And after all the evaluation, after talking to customers, spending time with customers, evaluating where the industry was going, we concluded that the company that could make it all happen together seamlessly, that could deliver to the customer this connectivity we talked about on an integrated basis, would actually have a unique strategic position in the marketplace. Because the way we view this, we are now officially in a place where our customers are accessing content. One minute they'll be accessing it over a Wi-Fi communication. One minute they'll be accessing it over a fiber-rich communication in an office location. One minute they'll be accessing it on our traditional cellular network. The customer does not know, and the customer should not care about any of that. And if you have all those piece parts and you can seamlessly allow your customers to move in and out of all those environments, oh, and by the way, bring rich entertainment packages with it that can be delivered seamlessly across all of those environments, wow, what a place to be in the marketplace. That's what we're pursuing.
I come here because I think these guys are living and defining the future, living on the edge of it and defining it. And so I'm interested in for where that's going to go in terms of national policy.
Thomas Friedman is the foreign affairs columnist for the New York Times. A 3-time Pulitzer Prize winner, Friedman's widely recognized as a keen observer of global trends. As part of the research for his latest book, Friedman has spent extensive time at AT&T studying a company that's helping to define the future. What do you see as the long-term implications, the long-term viability of the strategy that AT&T is on right now?
It makes sense to me as I see the big trends. I'm a big believer that to succeed in life as an individual, as a company, or as a country, you have to start every day by asking, what world am I living in? What world am I living in? What are the big trends in that world? How do I then align myself, my business, my country, my career in relationship to those big trends? You know, people who don't think about the future tend not to do well there. And so the best companies that I visit, they're companies where the leadership's waking up every day, and probably in the middle of the night a few times as well, asking, what world am I in?
We're now making a shift at a time when there is a confluence of radical changes happening in technology. This ubiquitous mobile capability, I mean high-speed mobile connectivity, low latency connectivity everywhere, that exists now. That is happening at the same time as cloud technology is scaling. Today, the cloud is a reality and a huge technological shift that's changing the way we engineer our networks. It's changing the way we will deliver video as well. And then at the same time, all this Internet of Things that we've talked about for so long, it has happened. It is here. It is now. These really low-cost sensors are pervasively everywhere. And then big data. Big data, the ability to know so much about our customers' behavior and their preferences and so forth. You put all this together at one time, right now in the year 2016, this is a radical shift. And as much as we think the world changed from 2007 to 2015, it is going to change by multiples more from 2016 to 2020. We are on a very, very fast pace. And what I love is we're ahead of it. I love that we now have scaled video. I love that we now have scaled mobility and ubiquitous mobile networks. And I absolutely love that we're doing software-defined networking, cloud technology in our network. We're going to be so far ahead of the industry, I believe, in a couple of years, that we'll not look back.
It's a strategy Stevenson believes will separate AT&T from the competition. But he explains, it's more than just a laser focus on executing against strategic goals. Successful companies do something else.
So corporate America is not investing in the United States of America. We're investing as a percentage of our economy, percent of GDP, the lowest level since World War II. There's an exception to that, AT&T. And through the financial crisis, 2008 through 2010, we invested more than anybody else in the United States through that cycle. So we commit to investing. I would tell you that's the biggest differentiator since I've been in this company. And no industry is it more relevant than this industry, that if you miss one innovation cycle, it can be fatal. If you're not investing at the top tier, you'll be left behind.
In order to continue investing at an unparalleled level to maintain their leadership in connectivity and innovation, AT&T must also focus on another core element of their strategy: operating with an industry-leading cost structure.
You know, the cost story in telecom is an endless one. You know, it's an old industry with a lot of overlays and a lot of infrastructure built up over time. And so the area that is really having huge impact now is virtualizing that infrastructure and controlling it through software. And AT&T has certainly taken a leading position in that. But it's not just about an internal story for AT&T to improve margins. This makes it a lot better for customers. It's easier for them to activate, deactivate services and features. A lot of self-service portals with network on demand is a perfect example. You kind of have a win-win. It improves cost structure internally, but also makes customers happier because they've got better control over their environment.
Software-defined networking, which we are investing in aggressively, changes the game for a company like AT&T in a really big way.
Beyond its cost-saving implications, software-defined networking, or SDN, is also providing an opportunity for the company to expand on another area of strategic focus: serving customers globally. While AT&T is already a leader, serving multinational businesses, including nearly all the Fortune 1000 in nearly 200 countries and territories, SDN will provide AT&T a competitive advantage moving forward. Stevenson sees the company's recent foray into Mexico as an example to follow in the rest of the world.
In Mexico, we're unique. One other competitor can offer mobility solutions with fiber to the premise, with network on demand, with security all the way through a VPN network, all the way into the cloud. This is a big opportunity for us. So as we scale software-defined networking, what I just described in Mexico, we can now do in Europe. In fact, we can do anywhere where we can get fiber access into a building, either by leasing or deploying our own. So I believe over the next 5 years, this is going to be a business model where we have a unique place. I think we're going to do quite well.
While SDN will energize AT&T's global strategy and help the company operate with an industry-leading cost structure, it has another benefit as well. Customers love it.
Well, look, the most important asset we have, and people always expect me to go to, is our people. It's not. The most important asset we have is our customers. Because if we have no customers, we have no reason to hire any people, all right? And so this effortless customer experience is all about making sure our customers love the experience with AT&T. It's easy, it's effortless. That has to be #1 priority for this company. Now, in light of the technological changes, the pace of the industry, we do have to retool our people. We can't just replace them, all right? We need to bring our people with us. And to bring your people with us, you have to give them the tools to come along with us. And I tell you, of all the areas 5 years ago I was most concerned about, this was it. This was my #1 concern. What are we going to do? Our people don't have the skill sets needed for the new world. We made it a priority, we got after it, and we're moving the needle. Our people are moving with us.
I think one of the most interesting things happening in this company is there's sort of broad vision toward HR these days, which is you start by saying, here's where we're going, folks. Here's the world as we see it. Here's our vision. Here's where we fit in, okay? But then they've partnered with Udacity and Georgia Tech and now other schools where they're saying, well, let's create a system of online education where you can get badged for the very skills that we need. And I think that's a mini version of the new social contract for the country. That's where the country is going to go.
And so think about the competitive advantage. I believe we're going to be 5 or 6 years ahead of the competition in getting our people prepared for this. This is a big deal. And I'll say it again, you can't just go out and hire people at the scale that we all need it to do this. You can't just go in and say, we want to be in that business, we're going to go hire 100,000 people to do this. You've got to grow your own.
Stevenson and the entire leadership team at AT&T are committed to the strategy and fostering the type of culture that will inspire a like commitment from their employees. In a world of incredibly fast change, Stevenson says AT&T will lead the way.
We are in an industry where it all comes together. I don't care what industry it is, it comes through here. I don't care what human activity it is, entertainment, sports, it comes through here. We are at the very nexus of civilization, and our civilization is built around what we do. And I want our employees to understand that we're committed to remaining a leader in that nexus. We're going to invest, we're going to be proactive, we're going to be progressive, we're going to constantly try to be thinking ahead of the competitors, and we're going to be it's going to be a very exciting time for all of us.
Up next on AT&T Strategy Series.
I worked in a retail organization called Chuck E. Cheese's.
Wow.
Okay? I had to spend 8 hours a quarter being Chuck E. Cheese. And you can see the reaction that you get from children if you do a good job versus not. It's a really powerful thing to put yourself in that front line and make sure, are you delighting the customer?
Part 2, Effortless Customer Experience, coming soon.